11 కన్నా ఒకటి ఇది ఆడియో వస్తుంది సార్ టైం ఉంది.
the human and physical science. India has adopted a new information regime for sustainable economic growth through its Digital India program to support good governance, sustainable development goals, and empowerment of its citizens. The 21 days winter school in Geospatial Science and Technology Level 1, supported by National Geospatial Program, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, New Delhi. In this auspicious ceremony, I would like to announce that recently our college celebrated Silver Jubilee for completing 25 years as an institution.
Thank you, Navya, for familiarizing us with the program. It's our Indian traditional custom to begin any event or function with the blessings of God to have no obstacles in between. So, I request Divya Mogavir and group for the prayer song Seeking the Blessings of Almighty.
ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಮುರಹರ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ 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 ಮುರಹರ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಗೋವರ್ಧನಗಿರಿ ಹೃದಯದಿ ಚಿಗುರಿದ ಕೋಮಲ ತರುಲತೆ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕೋಮಲ ತರುಲತೆ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಾಳಿಂಗ ಮಾರ್ಧನ ನಲಿ ನಲಿದಾಡಿದ ಕಾಳಿಂಗ ಮಾರ್ಧನ ನಲಿ ನಲಿದಾಡಿದ ಯಮುನಾ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊರೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಯಮುನಾ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊರೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಮುರಹರ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲಗಳ ರೇಖೆಯ ಧರಿಸಿದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಲಿಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಲಿಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲ ವದನದಿ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲ ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲ ವದನದಿ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲ ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಮುರಳಿ ನಿನಾದವು ನೆನೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಮುರಳಿ ನಿನಾದವು ನೆನೆಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ ಮುರಹರ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ 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 ಮುರಹರ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ 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 ಕಾಣುವನೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, my dear friends, for creating a positive vibe with your divine prayer song.
Now I request all the dignitaries to stand first our state anthem.
जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते, जय हे कर्नाटक माते, जय सुंदर नदी वनಗಳ ನಾಡೆ, जय हे रस ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ. जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते, जय हे कर्नाटक माते, ಭೂದೇವಿಯ ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ, ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿಯೇ, ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ, ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ, ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿನ್ನ ವೇಷ. ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ, ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ, कपिल पतंजल गौतम जिननुत भारत जननीय तनु जाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते शंकर रमनुज विद्यारण्य बसवेश्वर मध्वर दिव्यारण्य रण्य षडक्षरि पोन्ना पंपल कुमिपति जन्ना कुमार व्यासर मंगल धाम कवि कोगिलेಗಳ पुण्याराम नानक रामानंद कबीरर भारत जननीय तनु जाते जय हे कर्नाटक माते ತೈಲಪ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳರಾಳಿದ ನಾಡೆ ಡಂಕಣ ಜಕಣರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗಾ ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ರಂಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸೀಕ ಜಯರುದ್ಯಾನ ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ದೊರೆಗಳ ಧಾಮ ಗಾಯಕ ವೈಣಿಕರಾರಾಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಸುಂದರ ನದಿ ವನಗಳ ನಾಡೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ರಸ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ ಜಯ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಹೇ 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 ಲಾ 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 ಹೇ 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 ಲಾ 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 ಲಾ.
Thank you, everyone. To welcome is to honor. To welcome is to establish integrity. I invite Mr. K.R. Babu, Assistant Professor, Department of Natural Resource Management, College of Forestry, Ponnampet, to deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to all present here. It's actually indeed a very auspicious day because this is one such program which is conducted by this university, this college, since its inception. And we are very proud to have completed that program with great success. Today is the validictory function of Geospatial Science and Technology program. And we are very happy to inform you that we had very eminent speakers who conducted classes very well, and also the projects, and the whole program was conducted in a very befitting manner. And indeed, it's my pleasure to welcome, and this opportunity I take, and I feel proud to welcome all the members present here. So let me first of all welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.K. Nayak, who is present on virtually. So I welcome you to this program, sir, on behalf of the college and on behalf of the organizers. And it's indeed my pleasure to welcome Dr. M. Hanumantappa, who is the Director of Education, Keladi, Shivappa University of Agriculture and Horticultural Sciences, Shivamogga. Sir, I take my pleasure to welcome you to this program, sir. We have with us Dr. T.V. Ravishankar, who is the Deputy Director, Bhuvan Geoportal and Web Services area. I take this opportunity to welcome you to this program, sir. I welcome you on behalf of the college, the organizers, and everybody. It's also my pleasure to welcome Shri Hemant Kumar, DST representative, Executive Secretary, KSCST Bangalore, to this program. I welcome you to this program, sir. We have today with us Dr. Sridhar, Dr. Shashidhar, Coordinator, NAIP and IDP, and also Professor in the Department of Agriculture Engineering, University of Agriculture and Horticultural Sciences, Shivamogga. I welcome you to this program, sir. We have with us Dr. G.M. Devgiri, who is the presiding officer of this program. And also co-PI. I welcome you to this program. It's indeed a pleasure to welcome Dr. Ravi Kumar, who is the main pillar behind this program, who has organized this program and conducted this program. So it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Ravi Kumar, the coordinator DST training program. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Dr. Shivappa, our dean, is also present online. So I welcome you to this program, sir. It is, and of course, this program has been a success with all the participants who are very actively participating in the program. So I welcome all the participants who participated in this program, this 21 days program. I welcome you all to this program. It is my pleasure to welcome the teachers of College of Forestry, Ponnampet. I welcome you all to this program, sir. I also welcome all the DST representatives or DST staff from New Delhi who also took active part in completing this program. I welcome you all to this program. And finally, I welcome one and all present here to this particular program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming the gathering. And on behalf of our organizing committee, I welcome you too, sir.
Light the lamp of success with the oil of hard work. Light the lamp of positive thought and be confident about yourself. So I would request the guest of honor, Dr. M. Anvantappa, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Manjunath K. Naik, to light the lamp, giving a kickstart to the program. And also all the dignitaries. After Ravi Kumar sir's report, sir. Thank you, dignitaries, for giving the good start to the program. Now I request Dr. Ravi Kumar D, Coordinator DST Training Program, to give a report on Winter School Virtual Training Program on Geospatial Science and Technology, which was held from 10 January to 31st January. Please, sir.
Very good morning, respected dignitaries on the dais and in a virtual mode, dear training participants, colleagues, and dear friends and my dear students. On this day of valedictory function of 21 days, DST supported winter school on geospatial science and technology. It gives me an immense pleasure. For the first time, we are conducting this 21 days training program in our department, College of Forestry, Ponnampet. So we are having a sophisticated GS laboratory with a skilled staff and the supporting team. Initially, while planning for this winter school, we thought of conducting in physical mode, but because of the persistence of the pandemic, So we decided to, and the direction received from the DST, we shifted over to the virtual mode. So again, the virtual mode, again, it's a big task for the organizers to reach the science and technology with respect to the geospatial science concept to make understand the participants. I hope we reach the expectations of the participants through virtual mode by successful conducting the training program. And again, this winter school is designed mainly for the faculty members, scientists, technologists, researchers from academia, national institutes of research, and other government and non-government organizations. So a total of 30 participants were registered for this program under our university. Again, they are distributed on different parts of our India, starting from Tripura, Allahabad, Parbani, Ooty, Bagalkot, Shivamogga, Bangalore, Iriyur, Raichur, Sirsi, Madikeri, and the Ponnampet places. Our participants were mainly from background of a scientific field, NGOs, research scholars, government, and the private sectors. The 21 days course module of the training program includes the theoretical and hands-on training program by using open source GIS softwares. The training program was scheduled for 3 weeks, that is from 10th January to 31st January 2022. Each week was calculatedly balanced and dedicated to theoretical and the hands-on sessions on geospatial science and technology with the help of external resource persons from different fields with a geospatial technology background. We shared, I'm happy to share this information. We shared around 60 GB cloud database for the participants. So each and every recorded sessions plus the database related to the geospatial science was shared with the resource, the participants for their career development. And on this occasion, it is my privilege to thank all the 17 resource persons all over the India who were part of this training program to conduct 50 sessions, including 30 theoretical sessions and 20 hands-on sessions. So to name the resource persons, starting from our privilege to announce Dr. GM Devagiri sir, HOD NRM, Mr. Naveen from NRM team, Mr. Vaibhav Srivastav, R-based solutions from New Delhi, Amit Gupta from IIT Bombay, Shashank Patel from Bangalore, Bhuvan team NRSC Hyderabad, Dr. Govind Raju from Kuvempu University, Dr. Rajesh NL from US Raichur, Dr. Tamaya CK from Wildlife Institute of India at Dehradun, Dr. Aklak Amin Wani from Jammu Kashmir Agriculture University, Anand S from the Shivamogga, Sneha Pandey from Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, Monish Dasman from IIT Bombay, Sarvajna Salimat sir from the UHS Shivamogga, Dr. Girish Pujar from NRSC Hyderabad, Dr. KT Gurmurthy sir from KSN UHS Shivamogga, Dr. Arjun G. Koppat sir from Sirsi US Dharwad. And the training program goes like this. The first week of the training program was completely dedicated to the cartography, mapping, different scales, projections, and the GIS. In the second week, we focused on the participants who are exposed to remote sensing and its applications. In the third week, image classifications, the supervised and unsupervised classifications, applications of geospatial analysis, other platforms like Google Earth Engine were discussed. We made a team of 6 groups on working on the mini projects. The groups names were named after our famous river names, that is Krishna, Kaveri, Tunga, Bhadra, Hemavati, and Bhima. The Krishna team, they worked on the use of GIS for advanced agro irrigation managements. The team Kaveri, they worked on the prediction of soil erosion in Kudluru watershed using prediction of soil erosion in by using geospatial technologies. Team Tunga, land use land cover map of Shivamogga, and Team Bhadra, mapping of NDVI using different satellite data, that is MODIS, Sentinel-2, and Landsat 8 in Google Earth Engine platform. Team Hemavati, creating false color composite, that is FCC and NDVI map of Kodagu district using Landsat and Sentinel-2 data. Team Bhima, they worked on mini project mapping of forest types of Western Ghats by using Google Earth Engine. In the last week, the presentations of mini project work, virtual, theoretical, and practical exams were conducted. In case of the practical exams, we distributed 30 ungeoreferenced topoisomes to each participant. So the assignment was they need to georeference and they extract the information. It may be line, polygon, or the point features. So after that, we evaluated accordingly as per the geo reference or the whatever the materials they added to the G drive. So I thank all the participants of this training program who patiently listened and learned the sessions, and hope this would help in your future line of work. Further, for any technical support and collaboration of works, we would happily join our hands in future with the other organizations too. At last, I thank the funding agency, the DST, for providing us this opportunity to fund and conduct this program successfully. I thank our university authorities for supporting and being present in the campus during this pandemic stage to make this program a grand success. Now, I would like to thank our HOD, Department of NRM, Dr. GM Devgiri sir, for his encouragement and endless support to conduct this program smoothly. Last but not least, I thank my core heartily to my technical team, Mr. Naveen, Baswaraj, and Siddharth. So without these three persons, so again, so it is very difficult for us to conduct this training program. So thanks a lot for your support, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to our non-teaching staff and teaching staff for their immense support and making this program more successful. Thank you, Anandal. And again, with respect to this training program, I request our training participants, please make use of this training program. So whatever the database we shared in the cloud data, so please use this data. So in future, if you are having any doubts or the collaborations, so we are happily, we are free to join hands together for your institutions. So thank you, Anandal.
Thank you, sir, for reporting us on winter school, and we are happy at this achievement.
Now, I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, Dr. Manjunath K. Nayak, to speak a few words.
Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Sir. Unmute ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ನೋಡು ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಯಾ, ನೌ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸರ್. ಹಲೋ ಸರ್.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಈ ತರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈಗ ಮ್ಯೂಟೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೆ. ಹಲೋ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ
ಸರ್? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಡಿಬಲ್ ಸರ್?
ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಾ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸರಿ
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್?
Yes sir, yeah, to address the participants.
Just wanted to grace and then anyway, in fact, since the internet connection is not so good, I was not able to listen all the things that is so far discussed by the previous speakers. Okay,
sir. Yes sir.
Yeah, whatever. Let me take this opportunity first of all to congratulate and compliment the Department of Natural Resources, the Dean of the college, head, and particularly the PI of this particular training program, Dr. Ravi Kumar, for having conceived the idea of holding this refresher course for 21 days and organizing it planning it very. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are.
As many as 50 classes were held, including 30 theory classes and 20 hands-on training, which in the absence of the candidates who have come for training, I think you must have done it through hands-on training, through software, whatever resources were available. Probably I was excited to listen to Dr. Ravi Kumar saying that the groups were made and these groups were asked to assign some works such as land use planning and maybe reclamation in the command areas. Some groups have attempted, and mapping of the resources. Several other things have been planned. In fact, this particular training was very important, as I told you in the very first day of the inauguration, that at a time when we have been looking for doubling of the farmers' income, one of the ways to double the farmers' income is to reduce the cost of production. As I told repeatedly, I have told you many times that if, as a consumer, if I am spending 100 rupees, the producer is getting around 22 to 24 rupees. That is the real figure in India that the farmer is getting out of 100 rupees of a consumer share. But that is how his, if you really want to make his income double, then he has to have a share of at least 50 to 54 rupees from the 100 rupees that the consumer gives. That means if 50 or 45 to 50 rupees the consumer has to receive, from the producer has to receive, you need altogether a different strategy in which 30% has to come from the production point of view, 30% has to come from the value addition and processing point of view, and the remaining 30 to 40% has to come from the institutional support, such as aggregation of prices or good marketing facilitation through NAM marketing. All these things put together, that comes under 40%. But in this particular geospatial application, what all required is that whatever land you use or resources such as water, all these precious resources that you are using, their efficiency has to be increased. For example, if you say water use efficiency, I am sure that must have discussed at length. Water use efficiency in Indian average condition is around 29%. This is what the national figure says. If that water use efficiency from 29% to goes up by another 10%, say 39% or 35%, that will add a production of another 50 million tons. This is the biggest advantage of water use efficiency which has to happen, and which I think this kind of geospatial application, where you look at the total requirement of water, total demand, what could be the supply, how efficiently you can make use of this precious, most important. Secondly, I was telling you some times back, when we invited Dr. Kiran Kumar, the secretary of the Space Department and ISRO chairman, Dr. Kiran, ex-chairman, who visited us, who came on Foundation Day lecture. One of the important things that he highlighted was forecasting of yield. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yield that is going to be, for example, next season, if you say that around 300 million tons or 20 million tons is going to be the harvest of country, and that if it comes well before its harvest, maybe 2-3 months early, then it should be possible for a country size of India to take some of the very crucial decisions. Crucial decisions in the sense, decision for domestic consumption, decision for public distribution system, what could be the quantity required for public distribution system, what could be the quantity required for market consumption, and then processing, value addition, storage, or what should be the export. If these things are done well in advance, probably most of our commodities, particularly those of perishable, can be thought of well in advance. We can also fix the price and whatever best possible, especially for a farmer, that he thinks instead of guessing for the price, a good estimate that this is going to be the yield of from my farm, and this is my yield, and this is my price, this is the income, that it comes to his mind well in advance. This has to happen through this geospatial application. Other important point that we have been talking about is fuzzle. Fuzzle means, you already know, forecasting of agricultural output using space, agrometeorology, and land-based observatory. So the combination of this particular remote sensing data and meteorological information and econometrics, perhaps it should be possible, because right now, whatever has happened, the fuzzle, there are so many intricacies involved that farmers and the final insurance reaching to the beneficiary is not up to the mark. Probably I would rather request this team of those participants or the resource sponsors. I was told that as many as Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you take Karnataka state, if you look at last 10 years data, you may be surprised to see that lot of substitution of crops has taken place. So much so, particularly in the 7 districts of
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Sir. Hello, sir. Sir, please go ahead, sir.
యాక్చువల్లీ ఎల్ఎస్ఎస్ఎస్ విడిగించారు.
So this substitution of crops is something which is a very serious issue because that will decide the fate of the cropping pattern. I think a good wisdom and the knowledge application of geospatial should be very handy in restricting some of these areas, because you can't go on planting areca wherever you like it. So that is another advantage that you can think of. Then, of course, restoring the irrigation potential of major reservoirs that we have seen in Upper Krishna project or Kaveri belt areas, where using multi-temporal satellite data, it should be possible to restore the irrigation potential and also bring more area, especially if you look at Upper Krishna project area, they say 95,000 hectares of area is under salinity. If that is the case, reclamation has to be planned and executed through the geospatial application. And of course, I don't want to discuss about other applications like whatever is happening, especially in 2019 when our Karnataka government faced the worst flood of 100 years. These were the data which helped us to see that life of the people were saved, but the life of the crop and the farmer's product could not be saved for the simple reason that these floods and droughts, which are very frequent parts of Karnataka state, apart from the drought also Karnataka has been witnessing in the last 15 years. You have seen almost 11 droughts have come. And probably after Rajasthan, we are probably the biggest drought-prone area. That is why I think looking at all these applications, I feel the geospatial, the refresher course that we have done has so much of significance, which should be made use. I think there are, in fact, I think Dr. Shashidhar must be telling you IoT is another important area. Where there's a big data network which can be handled through these geospatial applications and their softwares. I wish all those resource persons, particularly from DST, NRSA and the universities, must have given you a lot of insights into this particular refresher course, and those of you who are participating must be inspired and sensitized enough to take up some of the projects, not only projects, develop some policy papers so that from that area, wherever they are coming from, some of these application points could be really planned and then documented. I think the ultimate aim of this particular refresher course is to not that the 21 days are over. Beyond 21 days, what happens is more important than what happened in 21 days, because 21 days is a period you have sensitized, you have given enough food for the people to think over and make their plan and then document it. So all those issues that are related to your own area, please think over and get a document done, and probably you can submit it as a project or a paper for implementation or a recommendation, so that that will be very handy, and that will really serve the purpose of this particular winter school or this refresher course. In fact, for our area, I feel application of drone, particularly in arecanut and coconut, people have now started asking for application of drone for spraying these perennial trees which are at a higher height. So these things are going to be a matter of concern for our university jurisdiction. I wish these deliberations for the last 21 days and the wisdom and the knowledge and the scholarship given by our resource persons of 17% out of 50 classes shall be able to augment Con- Yeah, once again, I compliment
Yes, sir.
the Dean, Dr. Kushalappa, and his team, and head of the department, Dr. Devagiri, and Dr. Ravi Kumar in particular, for taking such an interest as a young scientist, and has done it very meticulously. And I'm sure we will be getting the benefit of these 21 days. And I also compliment all those participants for taking the pain in attending, particularly online is always a difficult task. Filtration may be around 30%, but even in 30% filtration, even 10% could be materialized. That will be the biggest task that we are going to have it. So thank you very much, and thank you for giving me an opportunity. All the best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing the occasion and sharing your views virtually. It would have been nice if you would have been physically present. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for speaking about the program and letting us know how geospatial science and technology and its application is helpful for a state like Karnataka and a country like India. Dr. Girish Pujar, the scientist, NRSC Hyderabad, has joined us virtually. So I take a privilege to welcome you on behalf of our organizing committee, sir. Virtual training program on geospatial science and technology was a great success. Now, I request Dr. M. Hanumatappa, Director of Education, Keladi Shivappa Nayaka University of Agriculture and Horticultural Sciences, Shivamogga, to release the training manual and NRM department documentary video launch. Thank you, sir, for releasing the training manual and launching the video of NRM department documentary.
Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Now, I request the Director of Education of your university to address the gathering.
Good morning to all. Respected our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. M. K. Naik Sir, and dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Devagiri, President of this closing ceremony function, and also man behind this program is Dr. Ravi Kumar, a coordinator for the DST sponsored 21 days winter school program, and also my dear colleague Dr. K.C. Shashidhar, IDP coordinator and also head of the Department of Agriculture Engineering, Shivamogga. So I also staff members of the College of Forestry, Ponnampet, and also Dean College of Forestry, Ponnampet is online, and also many dignitaries on the online, and also my dear students and staff members of this College of Forestry, Ponnampet. First of all, I would like to congratulate the HOD NRM department, Dr. Devagiri and his team, especially Dr. Ravi Kumar and also entire team of the NRM department for successful completion of DST 21 days training program, especially GIS. So in our university, GIS specialized person is only Dr. Ravi Kumar, the entire university. Whoever maybe next we have to train, and after this 21 days, so other scientists and also young participants to come forward to take the leadership. So we are identified him as the university GIS scientist in our university for mapping of the especially land use pattern and as a LRI land resource inventories under the reward as well as watershed program. So all other programs, he is the nominated as the principal scientist for GIS. So however, he has also made an effort to get a 21 days training program, especially winter school is the very difficult task to get a DST program. And so he has made it a successful event for especially this 21 days program. He has made a lot of pain to get this project and as well as completion with the support of all the staff members of College of Ponnampet. So as our Vice Chancellor is rightly pointed out that GIS is nowadays gaining a lot of importance with respect to the forecasting of yield, and also it is a disease forecasting, pest forecasting, so we can know the disease and pest well in advance. Then we can take a control measures, so in order to save the cost of cultivation and also disease incidents and pest incidents with this GIS, and also to know the mapping of the soils problematic soils, especially salinity mapping. That is there. So especially commanding area, we are find lot of salinity areas. Those things we can very easily identify with this GIS. And nowadays, precision farming and artificial learning and also IoT in agriculture is gaining a lot of importance. In such condition, GIS has required to prove this successful in next programs. So many of our university participants and also online and offline, this is the both hybrid mode they have conducted. So for getting the resource persons is very easy in online programs, especially compared to the offline programs. So we are getting a entire resource person from the all over country, especially IITs, NITs, and many renowned institutes. So this is a very good efforts he has made, and so he has given a very good video clippings, and also this is helpful for the institute development as well as individuals and also department overall. So they have made in very good efforts, especially GIS is the new topic, and that is gaining a lot of importance nowadays because of everything we can get it in a quick and well in advance to take care of the pests, diseases, and also forecasting which crop is the area. Everything we can get the information from this GIS. So these things nowadays is very much required, and he has made it possible for delivering the 21 days training program elaborately, both theoretically and practically. So I once again congratulate the entire team of the including Dr. Kushalappa for giving the opportunity to take the 21 days training program in the NRM department with support of all the staff members as well as especially Dr. Devagiri and Ravi Kumar and all other members of the department. So I congratulate and compliment the entire staff of College of Forestry, Ponnampet for successful completion of this GIS training program, 21 days. And many participants are participated in as our university as well as other places. So that I think it is a restricted only 25 numbers, but it is online. Some of the participants may getting information difficult. However, he can easily attend the classes whenever he free, and also get the only practical difficulties, especially hands-on training program. If it is offline, 25 students, very easily he can take the classes and as well as hands-on training program. I hope that this will be make use for all the participant. Even he has given a cloud note, so that also he can make use, and any references also he has given and given all this information. I hope that this has been useful for the participant as well as teachers and academicians and other persons. I thank you all the staff of College of Ponnampet, especially Devagiri and Ravi Kumar and Dean, for giving me opportunity to speak few words with respect to the GIS and also release of this manual. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for motivating us through your words and also making us to know about the importance of GIS, which includes its application in mapping of soils, artificial learning, and development of institution. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Sri Hemant Kumar, Executive Secretary, Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, IISc Campus, Bangalore, to address the gathering, and I request Sir to conduct the feedback session. Please, Sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's really nice to know that Department of Natural Resource Management, College of Forestry, Ponnampet organizing this 3-week program. Let me congratulate them again because it's a difficult task to organize a 3 weeks workshop and keeping the students together, making them learn on a day-to-day basis, that to a subject which is not in your comfort zone. That makes all the more difficult. So let me thank them again, Dr. Ravi Kumar, and all the people who have been involved in this 3 weeks Level 1 training program funded by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Let me talk about my council for a few minutes, then I'll just then look into the assessment of the training program itself. Maybe I'll spend a few minutes doing that. And maybe I need some volunteers from the students who participated here to tell their experience as well. I come from Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology. Basically, we get funding support from both Government of India and Government of Karnataka. Similar such councils exist in all the states, 30 plus states we have, all the states that exist. Basically, what do we look into these councils? These councils are specifically conceptualized and institutionalized in the state government to take the research and development happenings in the R&D institution to the people, basically facilitate and do in-house R&D, basically looking at products and services, not just as an academic interest, because as a science and technology community, we have an obligation for the people, and also since we use public funds, we need to make all these science, technology, innovation developments to reach the people. That's more crucial for us. So that's why in this connection, we are tying up with all the technology universities and also many of the agriculture universities as well. So we work with both public, private, NGOs, institutions, and we have no problem with working with anyone. And our main mission is to see that R&D activities for the benefit of people through scientific-based interventions, development and popularization of appropriate technologies for adaptation of the civil society. Basically, we look at the local specific problems, and also to a certain extent, we do the science communication and popularization as well, because they're also, as a SNT community, as a group, we need to communicate to the people and the government officials the purpose of science, the applications of science, and what we do in our laboratories and what we do in our council to take them, so that we always quibble from the science community that we don't get enough funds. But if I don't convince people on the street or the general public or the government that what we are doing is making a difference to their life, you don't expect them to support you. So I mean to say that my council and all our institutions, including yours, we need to pursue in that direction, that we need to communicate with with the people better, with the government better, so that whatever that we think that we do well, and we assume that, okay, certain technologies we have developed, unless it reaches people either as a product or as a service and communicated better to the government, it makes less meaning to them. So we work with all the state government departments, basically RDPR, planning, health, renewable energy, environment, housing, urban development, and also urban local bodies, and national. Unfortunately, since my council is placed in Indian Institute of Science campus, we get the benefit of R&D innovations, inventions that happens here. So we can assure the government that we'll be able to provide support in all the cutting edge technologies. And this is happening since inception, that is in 1975. And we largely work with all the national laboratories, then the engineering colleges, and also both public and private industries. Because nowadays, the government of India, whenever we write proposal, they look for a partnership. That is, if I am looking for any wastewater treatment, they ask us to tie up with the industry where I can do the proof of concept or the technology demonstration, and that will be added advantage. That is the, you can see from the past decade that we give more importance for skilling in India and making in India, and also the government keeps telling us we need to be Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliance. To that extent, skilling India and making India makes a huge impact. So we all projects that we are writing from the past decade, it's basically, most of it is not just academic. It's basically getting into developing something so that it gets used either in the industry or reaches people. So these are the crucial things. And council, I think the present, the interest, the topic of interest for our council is one is the geospatial technologies that we have been here in this field for almost 3 decades now. I'm going to explain a little bit more on that. We do work on water, that's rainwater harvesting, roof water harvesting, and we work with the watershed development department. We were consultants for them for quite some time. And we do the qualitative and quantitative analysis of drinking water. Then we do a lot of work on water body restoration, including the Kalyanis to the minor irrigation tanks. And coming back to education, we do a lot of innovative projects. Basically, we are working on having a digital learning process, that is e-learning centers in all the CRI schools, that is Karnataka Residential Education Institution Society, where they have 800 plus residential schools. Because they are all remotely located, the purpose of e-learning works better because you'll have a good content, so which makes it makes it more useful to them. So we established 100 plus learning digital centers. Apart from that, we fund a large number of engineering projects. So far, we have supported more than 13,000 engineering projects. Roughly on an average, we get about 5,000 engineering projects. And right now, this year, we have also included agriculture engineering as well. And we have a good working arrangement with Raichur Agriculture University as well, because they have a good number of product services which can be taken into the field. In average, this year, we're going to support another 1,200. And quite a few of them are getting commercial success as well. So to this extent, we have a center here, that is IPR, Intellectual Property Rights Center, where for any innovative novel project where it could be made, if there is any novelty, we can always go for patenting. So we ask the students and the faculty, if you find anything novelty, please come with us, we'll try to file it. So on an average, we support at least 100 patents filing. And so far, we have established more than 45 IPR cells in many universities to take their innovative and novel projects forward. Beyond that, we also support faculty research projects. That is, whenever the students take up projects, that is, we support about 1,200 projects, and out of which we give an award for 80 plus projects, close to say, you can say 100. So these projects which are of interest in terms of commercialization, that means if the students or the faculty are looking for any product, then we say, first we'll go for IPR, then we also support the faculty to take these projects for commercialization, but in terms of any tweaking of the projects, any further development required. We also fund the faculty research projects. So this year we asked the faculty to submit the projects which have been awarded as a student project. So we received 300, there was some 300 plus projects which were awarded, out of which we received 95 projects. I think a few of them will be, we give the grants to them, so that we hope that by the end of the year, they come out with some sort of a product so that it goes to the field. That's the crucial thing. And we're also working in housing. I think since we work with industrial science and civil engineering and sensitive for sustainable technologies. We have developed a number of walling and roofing elements. That is, you have a huge number of designs here, both in walling and roofing. It's been done not just in IAC, even where I sit is made of these alternate building technologies. We also call it sometimes energy efficient building technologies. And I think all of you know that we had the mud blocks earlier, but mud blocks had few problems in terms of its strength and in terms of its erosion. So what we call as traditional technologies with some amount of scientific output can make it relevant at this current age. So what we did was, we improved the strength by adding cement. That's why we call it a soil cement block. And also we increased the strength and also the both the erosion capacity by increasing the density of the block itself. So now we get 7 megapascal, that is 70 kg and per square centimeter and above. We have so far, using this technology, more than 20,000 buildings have been constructed in Bangalore alone. And overall in India, it could be more than 1 lakh. So this is happening in an individual level. This is not a community or not a government project. These are all individuals who have chosen to go for this technology. That means to say that the effort of council from the past 4 decades has yielded in something. And now, right now, apart from that, we also work on renewable energy. That is bioenergy, rural lighting, solar, and so forth. And there are 2 centers we have. One is Center for Excellence Cybersecurity, and the another one is Center for Excellence Aerospace and Defense. And we also do a lot of science communication and population program, which is basically funded by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Now, coming back to the topic of this 3-week workshop, as a council, I think ours is the first state to use geospatial technology for decision making, and they may be the first state to institutionalize the geospatial technologies in planning. That means to say that we have a center in each of the district. As a trained person sits there. I think I heard some of you saying that we need to do work on soils, we need to land resource inventory, we need to work on village mapping, we need to work on cadastral mapping, and some people also say that soil and water, these are the 2 concerning things for agriculturists as well. All these data sets are available on 1:50,000 scale and also sometimes much higher. These have been linked to various other data sets, that is the point data sets, the location of points of importance. Then apart from that, we have all the administrative boundaries starting from village level to the cadastral map. These are appropriately used based on certain protocols, certain methodologies, and the resultants will be given as a output to the different departments. And to tell you, first time the government is making mandatory geospatial technologies for action plan preparation. I think all of you know that the budget of Karnataka is 2.25 lakh crores, something like that, out of which we spend about 60 to 70% on developmental works. And these developmental works have to be shown on geospatial framework, so that it also gives you some sort of a, you can avoid duplication and you have all the data sets on your fingertips. And there's no, earlier days what used to happen is, I used to climb the same thing over and over again. So now if somebody says, if horticultural plant, I did it for a X farmer in a X survey number, I just overlay multiple layers that I have, including the satellite imagery. I tell them whether this has happened or not. And also I tell you, based on the data sets we have and based on the domain expertise we have, we tell you what has to be done where. This is not just for agriculture, it could be all other sectors as well. But agriculture is one of the largest users of geospatial technologies because they need it much more. Even though the geospatial technology initially came for the defense purpose, later on it ventured into other areas, that is military survey and also regular survey. Basically, it meant for taxation purpose. Solely after 19th, it was meant for planning and development. Now it is part of all decision making. It's a bedrock of all your decisions. Just like any database exists, geospatial database is mandatory for all our planning documentation purpose. And we use all kinds of data that's been published by different national mapping agencies, starting from Survey of India, NRSA, GSI, NBSSLEP, FSI, and so on and so forth. And apart from KACST, we have our sister organization called Karnataka State Remote Sensing Application Center, where they have a huge database, that too, at a much higher level, coarser level, wherein the points of interest are more than 20 lakhs. That means to say that every points, borewell, housing, everything is to an extent of 5 to 10 meter accuracy, it's available. So anyone says, where do you want to put a school or a college or a veterinary center or anything for KVKs or anything, it's on their fingertips, and you have a small program, what we call as application, APIs, application program interface. We'll know which place suffers more, which place has a better infrastructure. This also very widely can be used for delineating districts for sustainable development goals. So we have that sustainable developmental goals for which in 17 parameters to work on. All these are getting used. And now the question here is, I think the Agriculture University has a big role to play here. And fortunately, they need this database more than anyone else. Fortunately, I believe that all the universities are having a sufficient hardware, software, because hardware is one thing, and software, I think nowadays you can also use open source, so it's not much of a problem. And for data sets, I don't think you need to worry about data sets, because in Karnataka, I think all the data sets are available. Only thing is, he needs to identify a problem and conceptualize the process of solving that problem and what you want to deliver it. So what you need is the use of software, just like any other tool, MS Office or any other tool. Use GIS as any other tool and get what you want. Okay. And I think we work on. We use all kinds of database. I'll just try to tell you what are the applications. Just give the headlines because it's not sufficient time. Otherwise, it takes too much time. Right now, we are also using drones for a certain extent, and electronic total station we also use. And obviously, Survey of India maps and satellite imageries. I think I'll go one by one. See, we do a lot of groundwater level fluctuation maps. We do a lot of flood-prone habitations. Then we do. Some of the headings I'm saying. Tank suitable for pisciculture. Then land use, land cover classification analysis, and also change reduction. Change reduction is the one which we used extensively for watershed development department, because each watershed is about 5,000 hectares, micro watershed, or a project that we call as, and we spend around 6 to 9 crores in that. I think you must have heard about PMKSY. It's a large amount of money we spend. And as a matter of fact, people would like to know what the kind of money that invest, what is the kind of returns that we get. So for that change analysis, one of the techniques that we use, I think we use all sets of, including cadastral level maps, we use all of it to get into the results. Okay. Then we do work on health. I think we working on health trends and tracking and spreading of infectious disease and improvement of services. And we have a good number of database in that. Okay. Then PSUs, location of PSUs, and the jurisdiction of each of the PHCs, and you will also know which state or which district or which taluka has a better facility and which one needs more. And jurisdiction also will also highlight where it has to be done. Then we also working on malnutrition. This is one of our project which we are working on it. Malnutrition is also quite used. And then we do also some work on health, that is the cardiovascular diseases. Extensively GIS has been used. Then the fluoride content, quality and quantity of water has been extensively used. And I think the list is endless. I think currently we are doing a lot of work on a day-to-day basis for COVID, starting from the positivity cases to the numbers to the clusters and the kind of vaccination that happens at a Gram Panchayat level. All of that is available. Also as an app, also as a offline maps. Okay, and I think I don't want to get more into it because that requires another session itself. Now, see, my job now as a representative of DSC Government of India and also as part of Karnataka State Council for Science and Technology, we would like to know from the participants, do the sessions match your job requirements or your academic requirements? That's the one thing we would like to know. And also you can tell us how it's going to affect your future job, and could there be anything better that we can do, or you would like to have more trainings, more hands-on things like that, wherein if such a thing exists, we can also think of talking to DSC Government of India to fund another program wherein whatever the inadequacies that existed in this program could be sorted out, because basically this 3 weeks training program is meant for working for a larger projects in the future. So this cannot be assessed at the end of 21 days. It has to be a 6 months assessment, because we would like to know at the end of 6 months what each of these participants will do or expect to do. So as a coordinator or as a organizing institution, you may have to evaluate them for a bit longer. So now may I have few volunteers from the participants list who can tell us how it has benefited them and how these technologies or things like that can take it forward, and what is their expectations, and what are their inadequacies if they find, if there anything any. I would like to hear from them. I think any volunteers can come up and say, so that we will know that how much impact this training program has made to the participants.
Yes, sir.
I will call. Yeah, just a minute, Dilip ji.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, please share your feedback in 2 minutes, okay? As mentioned by Dr. Hemant Kumar, okay? What you learned, what are your expectations, and how it was useful. Okay, take 2 minutes. I request all the participants who can come voluntarily and give your feedback. Let us start with online.
And those who want to speak, please switch on your video so that let us see you. Okay.
Introduce yourself first and then tell your brief background.
Can I start, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Raghunath Reddy, working as an assistant professor in the College of Horticulture, Bangalore. I'm glad to give my feedback on this, especially the DST-sponsored project. So here I would like to see the whole 21 days training program, including Saturday and Sunday, except on the Republic Day. We were happy to be a part of this program, and it definitely gave the 100% exposure what we were needed. Though I had a little bit of the working time in the remote sensing, Karnataka State Remote Sensing Application Center, way back around 10 years back with Dr. Ravi Kumar. Though I worked a little bit with the imageries, but this training gave us a lot of information, different softwares that can be used to analyze the data or the imageries for various aspects, like the forestry cover, like the agriculture, like the water bodies. Yes, sir.
Dr. Reddy, I think you said about the softwares.
Yes, sir.
I believe that you attended online, right?
Yes, definitely. Okay. QGIS is the one of the important software.
QGIS is the one.
Yes, yes.
Do you have any specific projects in mind during these 3 weeks?
Yes, definitely. I'd like to, before going to the project mode, I would like to have one more session since this was a online mode. So some technical issues we faced. Sometimes the lack of the software updates or the speed of the internet. So we used to miss, though the Ravi was accessible for us for 24 hours a day. So even in the project mode also, we were able to extract the false color contrast imageries, true color contrast imageries, and including the calculation of NDVI values also. So that the application part with respect to, I am from Kola district, I would like to use that information to explore and utilize the natural resource, how to get the natural resource information from the Kolar and Chikballapur district in the later part of the, as a project mode.
Now, what I could see is generally I can't learn hands-on training on either it's open or commercial software packages unless I work offline, because
Yes, sir.
it's slightly difficult. That's one thing
Yes,
I
yes,
think
definitely.
is really a problem while we organize 3 weeks. I think it's easy to listen because you're always switching off the audio video both.
No, definitely not.
I think
Since I
it's
was
always
interested,
better the 3 weeks training program is done offline.
Yes, sir.
Especially if you have a course like GIS and remote sensing, wherein you need to work on a software and you need the support of people to help you to access some of the modules itself and
Yes,
to
sir.
do the, FCC, false color comp, or any application for that matter.
Yeah, and
You
I would
need
like to make one
discussions
more.
with other people as well. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to add one more point is
Please add.
I'm hardly 1 kilometer from the Karnataka State Remote Sensing Application Center. So I can utilize that, though I belong to the horticulture campus, I can utilize the same thing. I probably may be knowing that Ramesh sir was the person who made me to learn how to interpret the map, how to
Okay,
utilize
fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Hemant Kumar, actually, I think we have to cut short.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Deputy Director Bhuvan is waiting. Dr. Ravi.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah. We will have one more participant who can give actually the feedback physical.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to thank organizers for giving me this opportunity, as well as the DST for giving me permission to
Thank
just
you.
have information.
Thank you very much. Already we have received your written
Thank you, sir.
feedback. Okay, we'll definitely see to that, and we go to level 2. Definitely we
Yes, sir.
consider your feedback. I request the senior.
Thank you, sir.
One more.
Hello.
Dilip.
Hello.
Sumana.
Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Yeah, Dr.
everyone.
Ravi Shankar is on. He's waiting. We will give you after his talk. Okay. We will give you an opportunity to share your experience.
No, otherwise, I think I can, since if you are in a hurry to close, I have no issues, but you can send the feedbacks to us.
No, already we have collected. The feedback in form of questionnaire. It is just to share few of their thoughts.
Yeah, you can do
Yalwalkar.
that. You can send it to us. Yes, that should be all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. My name is Dilip Yavlekar.
Yeah.
I am from Maharashtra. I am working in the private company, Jain Irrigation. My job work is on design, that is working in irrigation and agriculture. And I found this course is going to be very much useful for my day-to-day routine. As Honorable Vice Chancellor explained that, this technology has to be transferred to the farmer to get more yield in less input, and water efficiency, water use efficiency. Planning. Now I remember in the year 2001, I approached to IIRS, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Dehradun, to get admission for the 3-month course. But at that time they refused to give me admission because I was working in a private company. This was the reply what we got it. They said that this course is meant only for the student, professors and the government officers. That means after 20 years, Now I got chance to learn this course. So I think it is very much useful for me. I'm definitely going to adapt this course, this technique, for the welfare of the farming community in agriculture, irrigation, and soil, whatever there, that is, I am honestly accepting that I am going to use it because it is useful for us, because we are working at the ground level of the farmer. So this is very much useful for me as well as for our company. And this technology I will transfer to my subordinates. Those engineers, they are looking for this because I can easily transfer this in-house. That is for sure. And I am very much thankful to Dr. Ravi Kumar ji, Devgiri sir, all the dignitaries and faculty. They are very well, they are expert in their faculty, and that is the opportunity I learn. Lot of things I learned from these dignitaries and professors. That is very much my request to DST, that these lectures, is it possible to put it on Google Drive, because the mega Z, this drive, it is difficult to extract, and it is consuming a lot of time, and every time they are asking money. This is one request.
Definitely, yeah, we will compile all these lectures, presentations, everything. Already manual is made. Actually, we will share.
Because this is 3 weeks training, sir. Maybe I am not become sound in this, so I need your help.
Yeah, thanks for the
that is
input. I think the organizers have the other things
yes.
lined up. Thanks for the input.
Sir, third request, in future, if any such kind of course are there, advanced course, please consider don't treat it as a private company, because normally such courses are organized by the government people. But
Yes,
where the private company who are working in the ground, we are in touch with the farmer. So that is my request. In future course, please enroll me.
Sure, sir.
For any other course, even my subordinate, they can enroll.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to all.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for briefing us the mission and application of science and technology and updating us information regarding irrigation projects and faculty researches and other projects taken by you, sir, and giving us a feedback about the training program. Now I request Varshini to give us a brief introduction of our chief guest, Dr. T. Ravishankar, Deputy Director, Bhuvan Geoportal and Web Service Area, BG and WSA, NRSC, Hyderabad.
It's a great honor for me to introduce and welcome the chief guest of this startlingly beautiful morning. Dr. T. Ravishankar is Deputy Director of Bhuvan Geoportal and Web Services Area in Nation Remote Sensing Center, ISRO, Hyderabad. He is working in the field of application of remote sensing and GIS in agriculture, soils, land degradation, watersheds, and rural development for more than 3 decades. He is responsible for creation of databases, monitoring and evaluation of watersheds, geotagging of rural assets, and planning of assets in rural development, nationwide change analysis of wastelands. He is identified as focal point from ISRO side to interact with Ministry of Rural Development and responsible for development of web portals for monitoring and evaluation department of land resources. All the above databases available on Bhuvan Geoportal are made available to all users as web services. His current interests include development of tools and on Bhuvan for preparation of thematic maps, data analytics. During the last decades, he had published about 26 papers in peer-reviewed journals. Now, I request Dr. T. Ravishankar, who is virtually joined with us, to speak a few words and motivate the gathering.
Yeah, good morning to all. Am I audible, organizers?
Sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah, respected Vice Chancellor, Mr. Dr. Manjunath. Then we have various DST officials, then the staff of College of Forestry, Ponnampet. Then we have the deans, then Director of Education, and the coordinator of the course, Mr. Ravi Kumar, then Devagiri, and faculty of the Department of Natural Resource Management, and the participants from a variety of fields I could see, right from the researchers, then the NGOs, then government staff and other things. And this 21-day DST sponsored winter school level 1. Any problem or can I go ahead?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, 21-day this training program has really given an insights into this geospatial technologies. If I recollect, the entire impetus to this geospatial technologies in the recent times, if you go back, it is in the September 15, 2000, September 11th or 10th, 2015, in Delhi, in the Vignan Bhavan, the Prime Minister has organized the program with between the Department of Space, ISRO, and the ministries, and where the entire thrust was given to identify the application of these technologies, and followed it up with the every state-wise the identification of the issues with respect to the application of geospatial technologies. And then the entire thing, it has been even given in the academics, the universities, and there is a lot of impetus or importance given. This is the coming to the geospatial technologies, and finally it culminated, I should say, last year in February, the Government of India DST has come out with the geospatial open policy, and they want to share the data available with all government departments or everyone to the citizen of this country, because the databases are built based on the taxpayers' money, and data should be available for anyone to do any sort of work. The data should not be a hindrance. And whatever the restrictions we saw a few years back, like in terms of defense clearances and other official or authority approvals, now they want to ease out and see that the common man gets the data, whatever he wants to solve his problem. This is the background. The second important historical evolution that has taken place. And coming to the natural resource importance and the importance of agriculture, water resources, and the geospatial technologies were highlighted by the Vice Chancellor of the University and Mr. Hemant Kumar from Karnataka, this Council of Science and Technology and DST. And this is how, if you look at the whole scenario, now everyone is looking towards the geospatial data. Let me put it like that. And whether you are aware of the remote sensing data, you are aware of GIS technologies or not, but everyone wants data. So data, if you look at it, it can be put in terms of, I'll try to share my presentation. I don't know whether it is possible. Otherwise, I'll go ahead like this.
Yeah, please, yeah, you can share, sir. You can share your presentation.
Yeah, because I'm trying it. It's 1 minute. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You are able to see my...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It is visible now. You can go ahead, please.
Yeah, coming to, because the importance of technologies, everyone spoke, but I would like to give you the advanced where we have reached in terms of these technologies and other things. And the Bhuvan Geo portal started by ISRO and it gives a host wide range of services that cover visualization of multi-date, multi-platform, multi-sensor satellite data, thematic maps, free data downloads, near real-time disaster services, apps for crowdsourcing, and diverse geospatial applications. It started around 2009, and with a simple visualization of the data available, and over a period of 15 years, how we have progressed, if you look at it, the 2012 timeframe, it became map-centric, and 2015, as I informed you, that it has become user-centric. Then this decade, this 2021 to 2030, this decade, we are moving towards the analytics and data science part. Bhuvan Geospatial platform, it consists of the various components, but to give an idea what all it has, I have just classified in terms of some 4 or 5 headings. One is we have got data services, the satellite data and thematic data services. We have information services for planning, monitoring, and evaluation, and mobile applications for location-based services or point of interest. Then sharing of value-added products and services. Then future plans, we want to go towards the analytics dashboards, data science, AI, ML, DL, and with the help of the students or researchers. And all the Bhuvan is OGC compliance and these things. Then, as I informed you, that Bhuvan is hosting a variety of the remote sensing satellite data sets for downloads by the users. We have IRS WIFs with 50 meter spatial resolution satellite data sets. About 10 layers are there. Then IRS LIS3 data sets, 25 meter spatial resolution is there. Then LIS4, Cartosats 2.5 meters, and very high resolution data, sub-meter satellite data, as shown in the bottom is given. Here my point of emphasis to all the participants is that the data sets are available on Bhuvan, can be downloaded to certain level. Right now we have a policy to give the data sets from IRS, AWIPS and LIS3 of 2 years back. That is a policy, and now with the new remote sensing data policy and the geospatial policy, probably we may be giving even LIS4 and 5.8 meters and current satellite data sets also to the users. Then if you just, I would like to tell you how the data is being downloaded. And as I informed you, we have AWS data sets full layers for India about 47 numbers, LIS3 full India layers for 21 numbers. And in the previous slide, I showed you only for the last year. And data downloads, if you look at how much data is downloaded from Bhuvan from 2011 to till date, LIS3 tiles around 7,26,000, AWS tiles 87,334. And who are the users who have downloaded these data sets? Academic and research is a maximum, government, private, NGOs, and others. So the point of emphasis is, once you become a registered user on the Bhuvan, you can access the data sets, whatever is available for downloads. And our policy is right now, we are sharing this data with the users, either free downloads or some authentication process, and some data sets only for web mapping services and feature content services like that. Some of the other services, some data sets are right now we are not enabled to download. With the opening up of geospatial policy, these things may be changed. And apart from the satellite data, what I would like to inform this August gathering is, we have the thematic services, because in NRSA is generating the natural resources information across the country. And in this particular slide, you can see land use land cover maps at 50,000 scale. We have given the 3 cycles, 2005-6, 11-12 and 15-16. And land use land cover maps at 250,000 scale for 14 cycles. And I would like to inform that this is one of the most popular product for among the users, because many of the researchers who are dealing with the climatic changes or weather prediction models, these data sets are used. And land use land cover also we have provided to whoever is asking. Till yesterday there was some authentications. Probably with the opening up of the geospatial policy, maybe the data sets may be more freely available to the users. And we have limited LULC maps at 10,000 scale, urban land use, wastelands at 50,000 scale, land degradation maps, whatever thematic information required for the natural resource management is available for the users. And anybody who approaches, we will guide them how to get the information for the data sets. And as all of you know that in India, if you say anything is free, everyone wants to have an entire India data sets on their desktops. That has created certain hurdles in the initial stages. Nevertheless, now the policy is opening up. We are trying to enable the users with the different apps and APIs and other things, and some algorithms and other things to process online and take the final results for their purpose. Not only the thematic layers, we are also addressing certain Bhuvan disaster services. This mainly we are doing for Ministry of Home Affairs. and where all the state governments are stakeholders. And we, in near real time, the flood disaster support we are giving to all the states. And so far we have addressed 2008 onwards. We have been doing this disaster support services, and around 800 maps were produced and hosted on the Bhuvan, and forest fire, drought, landslide, cyclone. And the link is given in the bottom. That is the link to view all these data sets. And that is how the Bhuvan is a platform for the hosting the thematic data sets available across the, not only in NRSC, but also in the ISRO centers and the regional remote sensing centers, so that the users of this country get benefited. And some of the, as I was mentioning you, some of the flagship programs that we are supporting the government of India is the under agriculture, crop intensification, horticulture, fiber, and then rural development, monitoring of IWM to watershed projects. I think this is one of the unique projects that we have developed called Srishti and Drishti, and around 7,000 watershed projects. As the Mr. Hemant Kumar was mentioning, around 5,000 watersheds of each. These things are being now hosted in the Bhuvan, and you can see the databases and everything. And these rural development flagship program web pages, it has thrown us challenges in terms of development of protocols, especially when you have the database, how to share the data with the ministries, how to share first with the whoever is sponsored the program, then to the other users. And all the flagship programs have one common feature called the citizen view. The citizen can view what is the data inside and post his comments, but he cannot alter the data sets. And the protocols are defined such a way that the ministry or the user, whoever is sponsored, can have access to all. And some of the ground level implement state level nodal agencies or field staffs or district level watershed communities, they can only upload the data sets, which will be verified and authenticated at the next level. And finally, the ministry or the user can see it and then release for the public. And we have got agriculture programs like RKVY, NABARD, and Manrega. Manrega is one of the largest programs being implemented in the country. And as all of you know that in Bhuvan, we have focused in 3 stages. Initially, we started with the geotagging of point of interest in the Manrega assets. Then we have progressed to the before implementation of the activity, or during the activity, and post completion of the activity. This especially we have done for NRM related activities. Whatever the government schemes are sponsored for implementation on the ground, the government of machinery is geotagging and hosting on the Bhuvan. So far, we might be having around 4 crores and above the point of interest on the Bhuvan. Then we have urban, and I'm not going into these other things. And land resources is very important for any user, especially when you are in an agriculture university. You need to have the databases on land use, you need to have databases on land degradation and wastelands, soils, and etc. So these data sets are all available, and this is done. Most of the projects were done by ISRO under its natural resource census program. Then we have geology, we have infrastructure projects. I'm not going detail into this. And since this particular course is Vice Chancellor was mentioning about the water resources and importance, and its contribution to the crop productivity and other things, and doubling the farmers' income. So the water resource information, we have water body information system, where on a daily basis we capture what are all the water bodies having the water and of the size of greater than 10 hectares, but we are moving further down to 1 hectare water size of water bodies. And we have developed special application projects for Telangana government and Andhra Pradesh. And we are also monitoring snow cover and fraction over Indian Himalayan river basins, glacier lakes, and water bodies. This is all important in terms of the natural resource support in the entire country. Then disaster management, already I mentioned, I'm not going into the details. And apart from this natural resource management, as a social responsibility, we are also supporting the Ministry of Health Resources and Repository. And then we provided a lot of COVID support and CM health schemes in AP and Bihar and other state governments. Then I would like to give exclusively what all the works are available on the Bhuvan that has been related to forestry. For example, we have a Bhuvan node for Forest Survey of India, and we have given training to the regional centers. Then we have forest fire alerts, and especially some states have subscribed to it, like Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh. And state forest portals we have state forest portals like Karnataka and other things, and Tripura forest plantation monitoring. The entire Tripura forest department, they want to monitor the plantation using Bhuvan services. Then we have portal for Ministry of Environment and Climatic Change. And I would like to highlight to this gathering that recently Niti Aayog has requested Bhuvan to develop agroforestry site suitability index based on the thematic layers available in Bhuvan. What are the thematic layers we took is land degradation, slope, wastelands, land use land cover, carbon stock density. These are some of the basic things. Then we developed some weightages and ranks, and we have run the entire program. And the Niti Aayog has formed a advisory committee, and this committee has decided the ranks and weights. And this forest suitability index map will be very shortly, it will be hosted in the Bhuvan website. And any state can approach Niti Aayog for their local purpose and other things. And these data sets are being validated by the respective states. And right now, they're, I think, working with some 16 districts in the country to see how the ranks and weights are giving the results and whether they need to be adjusted. This is the one offline mode that what we did for agroforestry site suitability index map for the country. But I would like to inform that we have also another module we have developed online. People or researchers or scientists or anybody can change their own weightages and other things and have their own agroforestry site suitability index. So we have to go with the need of the situation. And if any user has any specific need, they can use their own layers and then try to develop their own agroforestry site suitability index map. Then we have a node for IBIN, and then which gives the information on biological richness, fragmentation layers, disturbance index, vegetation layer, mobile application for forest loss mapping and monitoring, data downloads. We are also giving data downloads. And then we have got, we also encourage student projects, BE, BTech, MTech, PhDs. And people, if they write, then you try to enable them how to make use of the data available on the Bhuvan. And as I was mentioning you, we have moved from the simple geotagging of an asset that is created under GeoManrega to plan a natural resource management activity based on the data sets available in the Bhuvan portal. And the name of the portal is Yuktadara. And this portal was inaugurated by Union Cabinet Minister in the month of August. And now the entire ministry is looking towards this portal for development of Gram Panchayat level GeoManrega activity plans. So the government, what they are trying to do is to bring more transparency and see the good governance is given, and the portal looks like this, and the portal needs, these are all the tools that we have developed. You can identify the Gram Panchayat, and geospatial data available, whatever is available, we will enable. Then apart from that, what was lacking till now is the authorities were not knowing what are the geotags available in a given Gram Panchayat. So what we are trying to do is we are enabling the data sets what is available on the Bhuvan platform, collected under the project Manrega, IWMP, RKVY, PDMC, because they all deal with the local natural resources. So once you know where these assets are available in a given Gram Panchayat, the authorities can select the treatable area available in the GP and then select the activities suitable to those areas, because land use land cover maps are there, land degradation maps are there, slope map is there, then you have the activity. And we have implemented some rule sets to identify particular action items. Say, for example, a check dam, or you want to identify a roadside plantation, or you want to treat land degradation area, or you want to deseal the water bodies, or you can even identify the sites for the farm ponds in the given agriculture setup. So the rule sets are also you can define, and then finally you can develop a plan for implementation, and this plan will go to Gram Sabha for their consent, and with the modifications and approval, it will come back to the Iktidara portal, and then the ministry gives the funds and they start the implementation at the ground level. So this is a very new one, and though it is called only for the GeoManrega portal for the rural development, the basic concept here we have created is how to create any activity, the plan and activity. So what are all the, if you identify the resources required for that activity, then you can run through this and come out with the plan for yourself. And so with this type of developments that are happening at the Bhuvan Geo portal, and it is a very popular portal in the many of the states and other things. And where we are moving forward is we are going towards looking towards data science application of these AI/ML techniques, big data and cloud services for handling large data sets, real-time GIS, more generic APIs, open source data center computing, data cubes, information and advisories in local languages. Right now we have some 6 languages, but we have created a dashboard where any language, if you type in English, you can get the equivalent in any language. So this is also we have done. And what I would like to inform is that we need to actually take the this Bhuvan Geo portal for the user-centric or the needy or the whoever wants to work on the Bhuvan, contribute new tools, or work on their problem and solutions. And we are open, and you can look into this Bhuvan portal and write suggestions or given your feedback. And we are here to help whoever wants what type of services they need. With this, I thank the organizers, the College of Forestry, especially the Department of Natural Resources Management, and I thank Vice Chancellor sir. Then I thank Mr. Devagiri and Mr. Hanumantappa, the Director of Education, and Mr. Ravi Kumar, who has given me a great opportunity just to share what are in which direction the Bhuvan Geo portal is moving in today's context. Thank you, one and all.
Yes, sir. I immensely thank you for sharing your valuable time and also addressing the gathering on actually overview of and what opportunity exists for the scientists and researchers to make use of actually the open source data, especially the Bhuvan portal. We have had long collaborations for your kind information that we have been collaborating with NRSC since last 2004 as a part of a DOS DBT biodiversity characterization program, followed by that the vegetation carbon pool assessment program, both first and second phase. So we have been continuously, collaborating with NRSA, and our university and the Vice Chancellor definitely extend actually the gratitude to the nodal agency for supporting the university. So thank you very much, sir. Now, actually, we will continue with the feedback from 2 more participants. You have to be very crisp and be specific. We are running out of time since we also have another program in the afternoon. I request the participants to be very precise. Yeah. Hope Dr. Sumana is very keen, madam. Please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I kindly request you to, very brief. Okay.
Yes, sir. Just a minute, sir.
Yeah, maybe you can take more than a minute. 1.5 minutes you can take.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Respected dignitaries in the Validictory function. I'm immensely happy to being a participant in this 21 days DST program. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay. Myself, Dr. D.A. Sumana, working as Assistant Professor, Agriculture Microbiology at Zonal Agriculture and Horticultural Research Station, Babur Farm, Hiriyur. I am really blessed to be a participant in this 21 days DST training program, which was a marathon training program which started from 10th January to 31st Jan without any break. And I'm very, very happy and very extremely happy to tell you that the training program on geospatial science and technology was a need of the hour. It encompasses all the areas, namely agriculture, horticulture, engineering, soil science, etc., which includes all the disciplines also. And since it is a beginning, that is level 1 of this subject, and also the term for us, geospatial technology, wherein it includes remote sensing, GIS, topo sheets formation, and so on and so forth. We were able to learn the basic things so that we could continue in this direction and write some good pilot projects in collaboration with Dr. Girish Pujar and with the kind help from Dr. Ravi Kumar and HOD Dr. J.M. Devgiri. We are having array of hopes to write some mini pilot projects for the help of students as well as ourselves. And we are able to understand the basics of all the discipline, such as all the areas in the soil science, microbiology, etc. Being a microbiologist, I was very keen to understand the below ground portion of the technologies, how we can be used geospatial technology for assessing the microbial population. There were not much study going on. So in this direction, after a great interaction with all the resource persons, they have given me hopes that we can also write some small projects on this, and we can include the microbial population data also. So I was really happy to interact with all the resource persons.
Yeah, we'll be very happy
Thank
to
you, sir.
collaborate with you.
Yes,
I
sir.
think now with whatever sensors available, we are able to see the above ground. Hope actually the future sensors will come. Maybe they'll be able to sense, as you say, the microorganisms. We are very optimistic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
So,
Even my
one more
sir.
last feedback from Ajit, Mr.
Yes.
Ajit. 1 minute, Ajit.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Honorable Chief Guest and all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. All the members of organizing committee as well. I'm very much thankful to all of them. From last 21 days, we are bound together for pursuing a common interest, and that is this 21 days training program. And I personally feel that all of us are very much fortunate enough as a participant of such a valuable training program. The technical inputs and constant guidance of renowned the resource persons from all over India definitely upgraded our basic knowledge of geospatial science and its approaches right from the first day, sir. All the theoretical, almost 30 theoretical lectures and 20 hands-on sessions proved to be helpful for gaining the knowledge about the georeferencing and the data image interpretation, the map preparation, remote sensing, its application, etc. No doubt, sir, the team has taken great effort, and I am 100% confident that this training program will bring the concrete outcome of geospatial technologies for the capacity building in teaching and research development in respective field. At last, I am very much thankful on behalf of all the participants to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Directorate of Education, Department of NRM, and especially I am very much thankful to the Principal Investigator, Dr. Ravi Kumar, and his team for organizing such a wonderful training program. And at the same time, I'm also looking forward to attain the next level program also. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to express my views. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. In fact, what the group has been created, it will be kept alive, and you can definitely in future also keep interacting and post your, if at all any problems, definitely will be there to help you and guide you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Anand. Sir, I would like to give a feedback about my experience regarding the winter school. Hello.
Anand, yeah, as I told, we are already running short of time. Afternoon, there is one more program. 1 minute time for you.
Yes,
Okay. Be specific, Anand.
Yes, sir. Like as I said, like I'm Anand, so I'll be pursuing my postdoctoral studies in UKSNUH Shivamogga. So as a student, I have gained a lot of knowledge during this 21 days working winter school. So I have done my research also in RS and GIS in my MSc as well. And the learnings that I have learned from this winter school, that is advanced, like Google Earth Engine. So learning Google Earth Engine was one of the major steps in this winter school, because it is taking my knowledge to another level. So I'm able to do all that processing in one go. And the importance of coding languages, importance of coding, and in our field. So how important it is for students to learn coding like Python or Java and different computer languages. So I have got to know the importance of that by looking into this winter school and other applications and other data sets. So major thing is we didn't have access to data. So now all of the participants, we now know where we can find different data sets, and also now we have a benchmarked cloud data. Like we have the recorded videos of all the classes. So now if I get any doubt regarding anything, I can just go back and I can just check the cloud and go through the classes again. And now also I have the opportunity to teach other classmates of mine. And I also look forward for the next level of this winter school, so as to make my postdoctoral research more efficient and more optimistic. So I'll not take much time. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And I'm also thankful to Dr. Devgiri sir and Dr. Ravi Kumar sir. So especially Devgiri sir, he has been a wonderful resource person, and Ravi Kumar sir has been a wonderful resource person as well as a coordinator as a whole. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks to our university as a whole as well.
I thank Dr. T. Ravishankar sir for letting us to know more about GIS and also about Bhuvan ISRO Geo Portal. And I also thank all the participants for involving in feedback session. Now, I request Dr. G.M. Devgiri, Head Department of Natural Resource Management, College of Forestry, Ponnampet, to give his presidential remarks about the program.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.K. Naik, Dr. Hanmantappa, DOE, and colleague, IDP coordinator, Dr. Shashidhar, my colleagues, student friends, and more importantly, all the participants, 30 participants of this 21 days DST sponsored winter school. In fact, I'm not taking much time. I have also, taken some of the classes for all the participants. And I have been interacting since last 15 days. I just take 1 minute to tell about this program, how we conceptualized and what were the challenges. Physically conducting a program would be much easier because we can call the resource persons and we can conduct the hands-on very easily. But conducting such a long program for about 21 days virtually, it was a big challenge. But that challenge actually was very elegantly and very technically, very scientifically, it was handled by actually Dr. Ravi Kumar and his team. So on behalf of the college and the university, I must compliment him for conducting this training program in a very befitting and very meaningful and scientific manner, so that it has reached to the participants. So big compliments to Dr. Ravi Kumar and actually the team. Of course, as expressed by the many participants and also said by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, our DOE, and Dr. Ravi Shankar and Dr. Hemant Kumar from actually the representative from DST and the state unit. So there are really wonderful opportunities when we talk about the geospatial science. And earlier, when we started our career in the field of remote sensing and GIS, we used to knock the doors for actually the data. And we used to knock the doors for actually the softwares. But now all the things are open source. Now, when you look at actually the data availability, and actually it is, as said by Dr. Ravi Shankar, there are huge data sets that are available. Now, actually the government of India's the policy on the sharing of the remote sensing data for the scientists and researchers. So they are going up, they are planning for opening up of still more high resolution actually the data. And my emphasis here for all you youngsters, as well as the participants who underwent this long program, is there are immense opportunities when we talk about the availability of the data and availability of the software, okay, and availability of the technology. Only thing is how practically and how meaningfully you implement this and you make use of that for actually the good of the society is very, very important. You know, see, now when I heard actually the lecture from some of the eminent scientists all these 21 days, you can monitor actually the water, the aerosols, upper atmospheric turbulences, the cloud movements, the fire. So, there's a lot of things that are possible to do with help of this science and technology. But the thing is, what I need to emphasize is you have to come forward. You have to focus yourself. Now, that's what I said for 21 days, these participants, that it is not the end, that you have done a training and you gain some knowledge. Don't stop at that point. You just try to take it forward. Keep in touch, collaborate with us. We are ready to collaborate with you. You know, to tell about my department and actually the college activities, we started with the very small activities, but now we are able to handle big projects. We are able to do a lot of work. That means from the application point of view, now we are trying to develop our center. Already our center has been recognized as the nodal center for the from the IIRS as under the EduSat program for online the many programs. Under that, we have conducted around half a centuries of programs mainly for the faculty and the students. Now our another actually dream is to develop this center as a center of excellence in a geospatial the science. And now this is a level 1 training program. Our aim is to now move from level 1 to permanent center, level 2, which is again supported by the DST. And for the information of the Executive Secretary of KCST, that we had applied actually for a grant for developing as a center of excellence for the climate science and also the carbon monitoring. So last year somehow it did not happen, but this year again the projects are called for, and definitely we'll apply, and please consider that. That is actually a request from our college. And as mentioned by actually the Executive Secretary of Karnataka State Science and Technology Cell, that we were also already the partners of the Students Fellowship Program. Our students also have availed actually the scholarships from KCST earlier, but somehow it was stopped. Again, we relook into of course this 21 days programs we have done our effort to, conduct this in a way which was very useful for all the participants. Of course, when we do any programs, there will be the ups and downs, and there are bottlenecks. Of course, we have collected those feedback from the participants. Definitely, for a future program, we collectively try to improve upon, address some of those issues and make it still better. So I thank all the university officers for gracing these occasions. I compliment all the team of NRMA faculty who have directly and indirectly supported this program. And even this hybrid mode, the conceptualization is by actually our students. I must mention actually the name of Siddharth and Basuraj, Mallikarjun, and actually the Niyaz from final years who have made all this, and it is relayed on now. Actually, it is YouTube live. It is supported by Ravi. And these are actually the young minds, and such ideas should come. Then only the good thing happens. Thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your presidential remarks about the training program. Before we call it a day, we cannot just end today's program without thanking our entire organizing committee, without whom this day would not have been possible. I hope you all enjoyed the day and learned something new and useful for yourself. So I would like to request Dr. T.S. Harish, sir. Harish sir, Assistant Professor, College of Forestry, Ponnampet, to kindly hand over the momentum of appreciation for organizing committee members.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So as a participant, I wish to say both virtual mode and physical mode had both the advantages and the disadvantages. And I wish to say the physical mode would have been better. But because of this COVID scenario, we could able to achieve this one. But in another way, this virtual mode has an advantage. Why? Because Ravi and his team has uploaded everything in the cloud. So this remote sensing and GS work is not a one-day job. Means we have to be constantly in touch with the system, and we have to keep on working. If not, it will be like a volatile. So we can access this one, especially the Google one, all the things. So we can brush up our things and we can learn this. It is left to the participant how make utilizing the facilities that has been given. So initially from this course, I would like to wish to give a feedback in a 1 minute. Means we have started with the basics of the remote sensing by our Devgiri son. He has dealt with the physics and also, and we have done we have learned a little about this spatial analysis, especially the application of this drone technology in our field. So mapping technique and geospatial application, especially for this above ground biomass and the carbon mapping, that has been told by Dr. Vicky sir, Vani sir from Jammu and Kashmir, and especially the LIDAR application in forestry and image classification techniques. So in the afternoon, it's very difficult. Means holding for 21 days, these 20 people, it will be a very difficult task. And somehow it has been managed very efficiently. And many hands-on sessions has been, we have been exposed, especially since from that is an georeferencing, especially the downloading QGIS map and installing. Means we have faced a lot of difficulties, but all the difficulties will be sorted out during the course of time. And even our Venugopal, means I should not mention the name, especially he has given a hands-on work on a ODK technology. Means with the help of this mobile technology, how we can able to disseminate, means we can get the information, collect the information from a different post. We are sitting here and one person is sitting in Ooty and one person sitting in somewhere in the northern India, and we have collectively take the photographs and we have it has been mapped in front of us only. So all these techniques has helped us, and I want to thank all the resource persons who has been with us, who has been with us for all these 21 days. So coming to this, our formal vote of thanks for this 21 days, our function, 21 days program and today's function. First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.K. Nayak sir, who was a person behind in motivating and encouraging us for taking up this program by by Dr. Ravi Kumar and his team. So special thanks to M.K. Nayak sir. And our course, especially today's chief guest, T. Ravi Shankar sir. So he has given more than a 15 minutes talk about this technology. And today's our chief guest of honor, Dr. Hanmantappa sir, and another guest of Dr. Shashidhar sir, and especially the DST representative, that is Shri Hemant Kumar sir from KSTCST from Bengaluru, and our in charge dean sir, and also the head of the department, Dr. Devgiri sir. And why I'm telling means because of the paucity of the time, I'll be rendering everybody thanks on behalf of our college, university, and the organizers. And finally, I want to thank Dr. Ravi Kumar and his team, and even the person behind even our Dr. Shobha and Dr. Anil Kaple, and the other DST team was there. Means these are the persons behind that who has make this program very successful. And finally, thanks to all the participants who are there with us for the 21 days. And finally, especially our student friends who are there behind for the success of this program. Means they have worked a lot, and I wish to thank for each and everyone for presenting in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold in our hearts the pride of being an Indian. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear friends, please rise with respect and sing along if you made an Indian national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
It's time to wind up the program. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.